Okay. Yeah, keep the sticks rolling. Hey, bitch, I be hot, me and money got tied. She come in steps, but I'm never surprised. I don't know, trust him, they all go for size.
Yes, sir. It's another
Gang.
episode of the Back Three. We're back with our footy chats, new footy chats for the week. As you can see, we have a guest. His name is Callum. Callum, bro, how you doing?
Guys, I can't complain. Life is good. The final loss, I'm a bit sad at that, but you know what? The game's the game. It is what it is. You just got to keep going, man.
Yeah, we just got to keep going. And yeah, man, like commiserations to the boys and just to us all, as Africans. Like, obviously, we bummed. It hurts losing like that. Hey, Legendary, what you got to say about that?
Now, I'm good, first of all. Actually, my Wednesday actually sucked, dog, because I was playing fives as well for Bundesliga, the derby. So my team got trashed. Right after the game, we went to the bar at Century 35s, watched the game. We also lost that one. So it was a dark Wednesday for me, Phil.
Yeah,
But otherwise, I'm good, dog.
it was crappy. It was crappy. Callum, bro, we've been trying to locate you. As you know,
Yeah.
but the people watching won't know. We've been trying to locate you for this episode, and like, welcome to the show, and also thank you for accepting our invite, bro. So the topic for today is the top 10 midfielders in the Premier League of all time. And obviously then you'll hear who our goats are. Obviously, we could have like the round table conversation or argument and debate, but we just felt like, let's have casual conversation as homies, and just chat. And obviously, if there's points of disagreement or of contention, then we'll speak about it, because not everyone's list is going to be the same, but maybe we'll have the same players in different places. But Callum, bro, I see something there, I see something there quickly. It's Liverpool badge, currently top of the log, bro. We just wanted to ask you, bro, because we spoke about Jurgen Klopp, good and bad, we might say, good and bad. But like, what are your thoughts on the man? Like, just before we get into what we're going to speak about.
Look, I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible because we have a long chat awaiting us. I was fortunate enough to be, I know it's weird, but I was in the UK when Rodgers got sacked, and it was a big thing. Like, I was on a train, we drew with Everton 1-1. I'd gone to a Europa League game a couple of days before, also drew 1-1. It was like the end of Rodgers' era. It wasn't great. He got sacked on the train. By the time I got to my destination, there was two options, Ancelotti and Klopp, and it turns out that Ancelotti turned us down because of structures and policies or whatever. And so I think we were all heads in with Jurgen Klopp. By the time I left, Jurgen Klopp was our manager, and that's been a 9-year period. And in that 9 years, obviously growing up as a Liverpool fan in the early 2000s, being a cup team, never competing for the Premier League ever, maybe once or twice, to having had the success we've had. Obviously we can debate the amount of trophies he's won and so on and so forth. This has been the best period of my life, obviously, as a Liverpool fan. It's been fun. Look, he's given the club a new life under his leadership. Almost a new stadium, basically. They've built extra 15,000 seats, which is massive. New training ground. The players come in. There's a big ethos at the club. Players actually want to play for Liverpool. There was a stage where we're losing out to Spurs on signings. Clint Dempsey choosing Spurs over us. You know what I mean? Those types of things. That's the reality I came from. I was getting cooked in high school, guys. You must understand. Monday mornings were treacherous conditions. You know what I mean? It's bad. June, July weather settings not good, guys. So it's been good, and in that same time, my United fan base friends, they've not had a good time. So it's always been great. But look, I can only say is the guys rebuilt the club, and it's just unfortunate that he's gone up against probably, other than probably Sir Alex Ferguson, the best coach to have ever walked this planet, and I think he will go down as the GOAT. This is Pep Guardiola and that super team of Man City. We can obviously get into the 115 charge. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We just got to call a spade. But I think in any other era, the amount of points we've accumulated in some of these seasons would have been enough to have won 30 out of 33 Premier League titles. So the game's the game. It is what it is. We won the Champions League again. We won the Premier League. I can't complain. He's been boss. I'm going to miss him. I won't miss the fact that players want to play for him. That's my biggest thing. It's not just Liverpool's always an attraction. United's an attraction, but players want to play for certain managers, and he's got that aura about him. Us and our aura defending and all that. He's got an aura about him, and we're gonna miss that. It's a good transition that's gonna happen. I wish him all the best. He's leaving on a high. That's important. There's no negative energy around it. We're not in a poor condition. We never know what's going to happen in the season, but we're top of the log for now. We're still 3 other competitions. We know what's happening. We understand what the end goal is. We just got to try and achieve it. So, big ups to him.
Facts, bro. Sorry about that. I was looking at my notes because I mean, this topic that we're going into is a big one. You know, like even I was like thinking to myself, speaking to like Legendary here, saying, "Damn, bro, like we might have shot ourselves in the foot with this one," you know, because it's a hard topic, you know. But I'd like to state it again. We're speaking about top 10 Premier League midfielders of all time, and like when we say midfielders, we're speaking about the 6th position, which is the DM, 8th position, central midfielder, and then the 10 attacking midfielder, right? So the wide players nowadays are seen as forwards, so we're not going to really speak about them, or you know, and stuff like that. And the criteria we decided on was in no order. It was wins, moments, stats, you know, and obviously impact, what the player did over their time or in their career, you know. So let's get into it, bros. Like, where we start obviously at the bottom, number 10. Anyone want to start us off with their first one? Legendary, I know you're the guy that starts us off mostly, so I'll give it to you, bro.
Okay. For number 10, yeah. I went for a guy with one of the most important positions in the field. Someone they named the position after him. That's Claude Makelele. For me, I think, for me, it's not even about goals or assists. Obviously, he's not part of that. But for what he did in the number 6 position, the fact that they named the position after him says it all. I mean, how many times have Chelsea tried to find the perfect player for the number 6 position? They've all tried Essien, who was a very good player. They tried Obi Mikel, who wasn't really a number 6, but they played him there just because it's FCON. But Claude, for me, like, he just cleaned up he was very vital for Mourinho's 2 Premier League wins as well. Cleans up at the back, gives the ball to Lampard, who will play forward, or gives the ball to Joe Cole, who will play forward, and just holds his position. That's all. Doesn't go forward. All it does is just shuffle to the sides and clean up. It was simple. Wasn't even a dirty player as well. Just simple, kept it simple, and that's all for me. Definitely him.
Yeah. Callum, do you want to go or should I go?
Bro, this guy and me, we should be like a little midfield duo because I have Claude Makelele at 10 as well, bro. As I was saying, my note said redefine the 6 role in the Premiership because that back then was called the Premiership. Break-up play named after him. Like, that's the position, the Makelele role. Guys, a guy never in mischief on the field, really. Never really someone spoke it poorly of, just did what he needed to do. You know what I mean? And did it so well. Guys, when you only concede 15 goals in a season, it's not just your defenders. You can have great defenders. It's your midfield in front, 100% protecting those guys. Because anyone running backwards towards their own goal is going to struggle. Any defender. When you have guys cleaning up just in front of them, guys, you have a perfect 6, you win leagues. Look at City, Rodri. Bro. You win leagues. Bro. It's easy. Even you guys. We're going to mention that guy eventually, but
yeah, even you guys. Yeah, exactly. Even you guys. But gents, I'm going to disappoint you guys. You know, now I feel left out, you know, in the party now, you know, because I mentioned the Spaniard, you know, I'm sorry. I mentioned the Spaniard who also won the Premier League title one time. That's Cesc Fabregas. He made the team of the season twice, you know, and also I feel like in that, obviously, when you started watching football, like the defensive midfielder position was like a hard man's job or someone who cleans up. But like a guy like Fabregas, who started off further forward at Arsenal, had more impact further on top of at top of the pitch. You know, did his thing there. Won't speak about that. But his time at Chelsea, that one season that he gave Mourinho was a special season, bro. Like he was like the Jorginho, I guess, before Jorginho, and also there was a pass that he gave. I think everyone will remember. He gave Schürrle. Yeah, he gave that assist to Schürrle. Yeah. So that's who I have there, you know. So as my number 10, obviously.
But you know, dog, Cesc Fabregas, he started as a number 8 because remember back in the Invincible days or just before he arrived, I think just before the Invincible, as a 16-year-old boy, and they were threw him straight into the deep end, and he's played as a number 8 next to it was next to Vieira actually. Vieira was playing more as a 6. We all know Vieira is not really a 6, but then we'll get to that. But Fabregas started as a number 8. He only moved to as a number 10 later in his Arsenal career when Wenger started to use the smaller players, technical players, and he moved him forward where he could play like Chepeto and Alex Song or Flamini behind him. So I think
Yeah.
Fabregas, most of his career was actually an 8 and not a 10, but okay.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with you on that. But I'm just saying, for the sake way I guess, him winning the title is not even important because I mean, like we're speaking about the best midfielders to grace the Prem, you know. But where I felt like, nah, leave the 10. Yeah, my bad on that one. But I feel like that season where he played deeper line for Chelsea, he did the business there. Obviously, he fell out with Conte at the same time. So I'm not going to speak about that. But at 10 is where I put him.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. You're placing him at number 10. A whole Fabregas at number 10.
No, don't argue just. You're not position. Don't argue just yet, bro. Because I mean, there are more names here, bro. There are more names here. Let's go to number 9, bro. Callum, bro, you start us off.
Just before that, Ceci's not even on my list, guys. But that's another. He's number 11. He's my number 11, guys. There's a lot of good players. I actually went through the list. I was like, this is.
You see what I mean?
I only have one true 10 in my list anyway. One true, because I'm more of a number 8-6 merchant. Like that's my sort of era. I still count 10s as like attacking wide kind of players. So I struggle to put them on. I like midfielders doing more than one job in a way. Not that he couldn't. My number 9, ultimate hard man, has a sick beard, Northern Irish. Or is he Irish? I'm not sure actually. That's pretty. But Captain Courageous. The man basically is durable. That's what I can say. Durable, tackles hard, underrated passer, captain of captains. It's Roy Keane, man. Like honestly, this guy, and I'm putting him top 10 not because I think there's a lot of players better than him in terms of attributes, passing, tackling, but to do it for that long and at that level. And people often, you look at Roy Keane's highlights, you're like, how did this guy play in the Prem? But he just did, guys. And sometimes simple is more in life. He kept things simple, and he was very good at the simple things. And he was a bloody good captain. And I think just on that premise, there's big moments for him where you break up play, win a tackle, rile up the crowd, and that gets Old Trafford going. And you need players like that. And I'd say Roy Keane, purely on the durability of his career and the longevity of his career, I would say he's my number 9, just on that. I wouldn't say he's the best passer or the crosser, but I'd say just being a pivotal man in that dominant United team, I reckon he deserves to be in there just on that.
Okay,
speaking on Roy Keane, just quickly, if I had to compare any other player to Roy Keane, funny enough, I think it would be Michael Carrick.
Why is
that? If you look at Roy Keane, dog, like Roy Keane is a very underrated person. Roy Keane could pass both. He wasn't just a hard man. That guy could play like properly.
Yeah.
And Michael Carrick, we all know Michael Carrick. He was a 6 at United. Am I right?
True.
He was a 6 at United. He could tackle, he could defend, he could pass the ball. We all know that. And he could play. I think Michael Carrick is one player that could play for Spain. If I had to choose like an English player who could play for Spain besides Jack Wilshere, it would be Michael Carrick. But okay, that's just my 10 cents.
Yeah, 11 St. Paul skulls, but we'll speak about that a bit later. We'll speak about that a bit later, gents. Okay. So I'll go with my number 9. Damn, guys, my number 9 is N'Golo Kante, 2-time champion, did it for Leicester in a historic season, right? Maybe he's higher on your list, or maybe not even on your guys' list, you know. But he's two-time champion, a player of the season, a Premier League player of the season, might I add, and also 4-time. Premier League, in the Premier League team of the season. And also, guys, for N'Golo Kante, guys, you know what this guy did. You've seen it in the Premier League, Champions League finals. Obviously, we're not going to speak about the Champions League as is, but like we saw it at Leicester, we saw it at Chelsea. Like I feel like I'm not going to speak so long about him. That's my number 9. You know, legendary. Over to you, bro.
Do you think he's done enough to be, or he's done it longer to be considered top 10? I think that's the only thing that's a marker on his career. Like, has he done it long enough to be considered top 10?
But if you win a Premier League Player of the Season, shouldn't you be on the list? You know, I mean, just based on wins, you know, impact at clubs as well. I mean, Chelsea haven't replaced N'Golo Kante right now, if you're being honest.
But top 10, I don't think he started long enough to be considered like top 10. But yeah, the guy was a very good player. But yes, top 10.
Okay,
But anyway,
so you saying that he doesn't have longevity? Okay, it's okay, guys. Let's over to you, legendary. Let's give me your
away.
9.
My number 9 is Yaya Toure, dog. Yaya Toure.
Uh-huh.
Just to read quickly his stats. He made 230 appearances, 62 goals, 32 assists, and he's won 3 titles for Man City. Also, Premier League Team of the Season, Team of the Year, twice. The guy came into the project at a very early stage of the Man City project. The guys took over, put Man City, put Robinho in them. I think he came just after Robinho came. With Gareth Barry, David Silva, and we all know that Yaya Toure was at boss, so he started off as a holding midfielder, just a pure number 6. He also played centre back. But to come into the Premier League and dominate the way that he has done, and to grab games of the scruff of the neck and to just pull Man City, I think I can just go to the game. The one game that can simplify what Yaya Toure was all about is against Aston Villa at home, when he ran with the ball from his own half, dragged almost the whole Aston Villa team on his back to go score a goal in front of the goal. Like that guy, he was a beast, and he could play also. He wasn't just all about tackles and all of that.
Why is he so low on your list? Is my question. That's just my question. Why is he so low, bro? You know.
I just think that others have done better than him in the Premier League and longer.
Callum?
To touch on him, I'm gonna jump here because like he's actually my number 8. So I think that would be a cool, because we've all done our 9s. He's my number 8, and I think just to touch on Yaya is like often people see a player of his stature and you think, you get this premise, especially with a lot of commentators. They see a player from African origin and they say, "Oh, it's always about raw pace and this and that." But this guy is some of the most technical players I've ever seen play the game. Like the man's skill. For the guy that's 6'5", 6'6", he's massive. He's actually a unit. And that's why he started at centre-back. He had pace. He lost it a bit, but once he got 5 steps in, you can't catch him. And like, as soon as he does this with his arms, you hear Frank Lampard saying, as soon as he does this, you can't get near him as a midfielder. He's just too strong. He's too techy. He will roll you left and then pull right. Like, when you roll over the ball, you step over the ball, pull right. He's close ball control. Free kicks. We forgot that guy can bang in free kicks. That guy stand 90 degrees to the ball, just 2 steps. Like, and the way he runs and just simple technique. When he took shots, you never overhit it. He never hit it wide. He always hit the target. It's someone, I can't not put him on my list. I'm not going to say he's higher than that. I think if he continued or he was in the Premier League for a bit longer or in that Man City team, maybe in his prime, and had a 7-8 year spell in his prime, I think this guy, we could have been talking top 3 easily, just on the attributes of his game. What a phenomenal player. You can't really fault him. Maybe around his birthday, that might be the time that you can fault him, because birthday cakes and all that.
Bring the cake. Yeah, bring the cake.
Guys, what a player. Like, just creme de la creme, guys. I watched that guy take a title away from Liverpool, basically, with that Aston Villa goal. There's no at that time, bro. No. I'm watching. Yes, Aston Villa, get in there. This guy runs the whole length, scores, bro.
He carried the whole team on his back.
Honestly, class.
So thanks for that, Callum. So you spoke on your number 8, Yaya Toure. Mine is also his former teammate, David Silva. I think who's the best Spaniard to grace the Premier League. Obviously, I was going to read some stats here. 2-time Premier League Team of the Season, 4-time champion. Damn it, 4-time champion. 60 goals, 90 assists in 309 games. Guys, leave the stats for David Silva, but the way that this guy could influence games, bro, was just crazy. Like the things that he could do on that pitch, the way that he could dictate tempo. It was obvious that he was Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have played for a Barca or a Madrid. If you speak about a team that he could have played for. And also, like, he was just like a magician to watch on the pitch, bro. Like, I just have him over Yaya because I feel like his legacy at City is just a little bit higher compared to Yaya's, if I'm being honest with you. And also, like, he played a little bit longer at Man City. So that's who my number 8 is, Legendary, your number 8?
I think I have David Silva also as a number 8. Um, Even the fact that the guy has a statue at the stadium as well, that tells you everything about the guy. Um,
Yeah,
Obviously there was a
class.
period where he went away when his child was sick. When he came back, when his head was shaven, that guy turned into something else, dog. He ran games as a number 8. The guy came into England as a number 10, started
10,
to play
yeah.
as a number 8, collected the ball from deep, went up with the ball. He impacted the game on the final third, also in the defensive third as well. His tackling is actually underrated. His defensive
Yeah.
side. I think it comes with the whole Spanish education where they have to counter press as soon as losing the ball. He was very good at that. I don't need to tell you anything about him being on the ball as well.
Class.
But the best Spanish player, I think that one is, a
You,
suspect.
you
Because
going with the heart. You going for the heart. We already know that you're going for your heart with that one. So we're not even going to
yeah,
argue with you. Okay,
I could name even one more. Another player was better than Silva, Cazola, but there's another story for another
see
day.
what I mean? You see what I mean? Oh snap! Okay. Give us your number 7, bro. Because I just realized that Yaya said my number 7. But
Is
give me your number 7. Yeah.
woo. Okay, my number 7. It's the guy
Kante.
who's the captain of Man City, KTB. He's
Damn.
my number 7. I'll
Bro.
just read stats quickly. 366 apps, 39 goals. No, I'm sorry. 246 apps, right? 65 goals, 105 assists, 5 titles, 2 Player of the Season awards, 3 Playmaker of the Season awards. The guy was Team of the Year 5 times. He was also Player of the Season 2 times. KDB, like, he was coming to
But so
England. Huh?
So hold on, bro. We have to interrupt you. A player that's won. And look at Callum's reaction. Look at my reaction. A player that's won Premier League Player of the Season twice is 7th. How? How?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the guy, yes, he's made an impact at City. But for me, it's what I'll see with my own eyes, bro. Like, I'm not really a big, I'm not really a big fan of how he plays. I just think there are better midfielders than him. I'm not saying playing wise or stats wise, but he's obviously proving himself to be a City legend as well. But for me, I think he's at 7 for me, definitely.
Alright,
I,
nah.
I,
Okay.
I think time's gonna do him justice after he leaves the Prem or when he retires. I think people will start rating him higher. I reckon the more like general public, I think will rate him higher. We're still
Callum,
stuck in a lot of our old players. We're still stuck in the past a bit. I think. Well, obviously you're gonna see where he is with me later, but wow, yeah, 7.
Callum,
But
bro.
or
I feel like
maybe you're right, actually, Caleb. Or maybe I'll appreciate him more once he's retired and out of the game, where I only have
But
like
City aren't
Tom
winning
to look at
anymore.
his performances. But for now, nah, dog,
Yeah,
I'm not.
fair, fair.
okay. I'll give. I said my 7 is Yaya. Because you guys touched on him, so I won't touch on him further. But I'll just mention that goal he scored against Crystal Palace. Wow, that ball that he called in there was
Yeah.
amazing. And 20 goal season. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Over
Oh
to you,
shit,
Callum,
yeah,
bro.
that as well.
Yeah, 20 goals and I think 13 assists. I wrote. I think something like that. Stupid.
Yeah.
2013 season,
Oh, yeah.
drove them to a
If
title. My number 7, we've already touched on him. I chose N'Golo Kante. You know, we talk about Makelele. If Kante was in Makelele's area, we would have called it the Kante role because he dominated and also very technical on the ball, underrated on the ball. I just said, yeah, when he's fit and he's playing, you win more than you lose games. You win more than you draw. He's just that good. I've never seen him have a poor performance against Liverpool, and yet God would always turn up against us. And like this is when Liverpool at their heights in this last 9 years. He's the reason why we had almost 7 draws against them. Like he's that good of a player. You win a title with Leicester as their best player. You got a chance to win the title. Then obviously the injury record, but then you do stuff for France as well. I just think he's in that role. Other than Makelele, I don't think I've seen anyone better at just purely stopping play. Guys, just crazy.
Nah.
But yeah, that's my number 7.
So
We've all spoken him with great
just touch
touch, but yeah.
just to touch on him just a little bit more. I think that's the reason why I didn't have Makelele on my list. Is because I feel like it was the Makelele role, right? But N'Golo Kante did in the time, not or in the period that he did it in. You know, obviously it was shorter, I feel like he just took it to newer heights. So that, and also he was going up and down the pitch, you know. So I feel like that's
Scoring
why I
goals.
left out Claude. Yeah. We're number 6 now, right? I'll give you mine
Yeah.
first. And Callum, bro, thank you, bro, for the lovely words. You know, when you mentioned Roy Keane, the leadership. And I was looking at his stats actually. You know, obviously, when we started watching football, or when I started watching football, I saw him like properly, right? It was only like in the latter stages of his career when he was being phased out at United. But I'm looking, see the man has scored 39 goals, you know, and 32 assists in 366 apps. There's guys who are higher than him, you know, who kind of have the same numbers, but obviously we don't look at numbers that much, or I don't, as you know. But for me, I don't. I feel like if you look at the Jordan Hendersons, for example, was a great player and leader for Liverpool. I know he gets a lot of hate. So how much hate would Roy Keane have got like in this era? You know what I'm trying to say? Like because he basically was playing quite okay. Let's say it was quite a dirty player, you know. But if you just look at his like the compilations or whatever, if you, he was quite, you know, and the tackles that he made and stuff like that. Like I think would have gotten a lot of hate, but also like people don't appreciate the type of jobs that Henderson and this guy like do on the pitch. These are like the extensions of the manager. These are just I guess mentality setters on the pitch. You know, like Roy Keane. I think you've heard like many players speak about him when they say like it was over before we got on the pitch because of the mentality that he brought out firstly to himself and also to his teammates. And I feel like if you watch Jordan Henderson in the season that Liverpool were very like very peak and good, he was that guy as well, you know. So I put him there.
Energy.
I put Roy Keane there for leadership at number 6. 'Cause I feel like there is no greater leader in the Premier League than him. And also just basically of what he done. Like I mean, Premier League titles. You can't be a scrub winning that many Premier League titles, you know. And you can't play for United that long being a scrub. So that's my number 6. Over to you, legendary bro.
Well, I think I have Keane as my number 5, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So I won't speak about this. My number 6, it has to be Lampard.
Damn, bro.
Frank Lampard. That's my number 6.
Yeah.
That's my number 6. By the way, this is just, I think for me, I have him as my number 6 because I prefer a certain type of midfielder, especially in that number 8 role. I respect Lampard for what he's achieved with Chelsea. I respect that he actually more goals than Henry in the league as well as a centre mid. That has to be recognized. That's unbelievable. As a centre mid and to have as much goals or more goals than some strikers, that's amazing. His best season obviously was the 09-010 season, where he scored 22 goals and 14 assists. That's incredible. I mean, I can say a lot about Lampard, but for me, I feel like he's not. This is just purely based on the type of midfielder that I like to watch as a coach, actually, and as a football fan as well.
Okay, so number 6, bro.
That's fair.
No, we're gonna have to inquire when we get higher up, like, and then we get
Yeah,
our
we have
numbers,
to.
you know. Yeah, we have to come back to this one, you know. Who's your number 6, bro?
He's way lower down my order. Like, can I go my number 6? Can I go mine?
Yeah,
Just
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
David Silva. I think that's for me. I just think he was that good, and I say for me when he was playing 10, I think arguably also something about left footers also looks a bit different. Like there's just something about left footers.
The
Even in cricket,
elegance,
like
the
a left-footed
elegance, yeah.
cover drive, it's different. It hits different. But I would say when he played 10, he was arguably the best 10 in the league for me. I just thought like his vision was just crazy. Obviously, Cesc was also brilliant, but I think we had bits of Cesc. Young Cesc went to Boston, then we had like a bit of the end of him at Chelsea. Different system as well, 3 at the back and whatever. But with him, well, that was under Conte, but 10 and then played like left sort of inverted winger / midfielder, did a job there, did a job at number 6. Basically the perfect player, and a lot of players try to mold their game around that. It's difficult to mold your game around that because he's left-footed and a lot of players are right-footed. I just said, just in brackets, just generally world class.
Sorry, Callum.
Every single day.
Sorry, Callum. You just mentioned a player now that like players are molding themselves around, like Phil Foden, like the way that he moves on the pitch, like, and also like for the type of physique and body that like they have. I see a lot of similarities, and obviously they play for the same team. So like, yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, bro.
No. Do you know? To be honest, I think Phil Foden's a good shot. I think Bernardo Silva is
Yeah.
the. I think that guy is up there. He could be, in 10 years' time, he could be on this list just because of his role. Look, he could play wing. He's played then. You know, Pep doesn't actually like pacey wingers anymore. That guy likes playing with like midfielders that can just keep possession. A lot of pacey wingers, output merchants, get rid of the ball quite quickly, always doing something, losing the ball, putting it crossing. He likes to keep possession, starve. And these kind of players are so good at. The best compliment I can give David Silva is that I think that he could have started in some of the best Barcelona teams.
Definitely.
He's up there. Like when I talk about Iniesta and Xavi are like your pinnacle, and Zidane, those are like your real pinnacles there. And I'm thinking like he's just underneath them really, and that's the best compliment I can give him. Because those guys would be number 1 and 2 in our lists if they were in the Prem. 1 and 2 easily. Iniesta and
Just
Xavi and Zidane as well. Yeah.
What would you say? What does Iniesta have over Silva? Just quickly, or like, if you'd say Xavi and Iniesta are there, let's just compare now Iniesta and David Silva, right? Obviously, two brilliant players, Spain as well. We all agree that Iniesta is better than David Silva. What would you say that Iniesta has over Silva? In your opinion?
It's a weird one. Also, you have to look at setups as well. Look, Silva wasn't at those teams. He wasn't at Barcelona, and he didn't really play in the era that Spain dominated. You're looking at 08 Euros, or was it the 09 Euros they won? 08 Euros, 2010 World Cup, and then 2012. So 08 Euros and 2010 World Cup. That's when Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. That was your trio. And he's almost similar. He's a bit younger than those guys are, but he just didn't quite break into the mold there. I can't say that there's anything that he's better than the next person. I just think slightly different in their ways. Iniesta would pop out left as well. And he didn't look like he was that skillful, but then he didn't murk someone completely. Like he's just underrated, bald head. You can't explain Iniesta. You can't explain Xavi, these lads. Same with Silva. I'm actually running out of words here. I just said arguably the best 10. Pep system, played on the left, versatile, generally world class. Like you watch football, you might not always see them. You watch them, you see football. That's the best compliment I can give them. I can't say who's the better passer. I'm not at the stats in front of me. But if I'm looking at eye to eye, there's nothing really separates the two. I think if Iniesta wasn't a person and Silva was in that place, Barcelona would have won the exact same things. Spain as well. I think that's the best. That's the best compliment I can give him.
Facts. We're just gonna run it back just from 10 to 5, just to remind the watchers. So I'll start with mine. So my number 10 was Fabregas, 9 is Kante, 8 is David Silva, 7 is Yaya Toure, 6 is Roy Keane. And yours, Callum?
I had Makelele in 10, Roy Keane at 9, Yaya Toure 8, N'Golo Kante at 7, Bernardo Silva at 6.
Listen to yours, bro.
I had Makelele at 10, Yaya Toure at 9, David Silva at 8, KGB at 7, Lampard at 6. And for me, I think before we can move on, number 4, my 4, number 5, and number 6, I think could be interchangeable. But the two guys that are above Lampard is more of a respect of what they have achieved in the league and the type of characters they were on the field as well, and how they were performing with the ball and off the ball as well, and the impact that they had on the Premier League as a whole product.
Okay, give us your 5, bro. Give us your 5.
So my number 5 is Roy Keane. My number 5 is Roy Keane. I think we spoke enough about Roy Keane. Roy Keane has 7 titles at United, 33 assists, 39 goals. But we know that goals and assists was not his strong point. It was more of what he did off the ball and on the ball, and just making the impact with United, attacking wise and defensive wise, and just the type of leader he was to carry. He was even at United in the treble season, right? It's just he didn't play in the Champions League final. You see, so for me, definitely my respect goes to him, just purely based off the type of person he was, the type of player he was, and the impact that he had.
How did United win that final? I'm just thinking now because Paul Scholes and Roy Keane didn't play, bro. That's just crazy, bro. But anyway.
I want to say, Sir Alex Ferguson often drops Scholes for big games. I'm just saying. But I think he was suspended, man, for that one. He dropped him he dropped him in the 08 game, I think. I think he played Anderson for his legs. again, just touch on Roy Keane. Sometimes players do the ugly work so other players shine. David Beckham doesn't shine in that team. Nicky Butt, left back, doing what Andy Robertson does today, left foot, right foot, doesn't do what he does, going bombing up in the 90s for a fullback if Roy Keane's not there, cleaning up after their mess ups. Because often those guys lose the ball, who must clean up? Hard man. You know what I mean, at the back.
True.
No wonder he gets pissed off in the changing room and bust up these guys because they're catching on nonsense going forward.
Yeah, have you seen Roy Keane's anger at these players, bro? It's just crazy. It's like he just gets disgusted whenever he's speaking. He's like, nah, they wouldn't make it in my era. But anyway, my number 5 is
do your job.
Yeah. My number 5 is your captain, legendary. You'll tell me if he's your greatest ever captain because you've had Henry, you've had Vieira, but I went to Vieira here. Vieira, 6 times in the team of the season, a 3-time champion, 37 goals and 32 assists in 307 games. You see, you see that Roy Keane and what I said about Roy Keane earlier, but Patrick Vieira, box to box, gents, like. It was just a different show. It was the Patrick Vieira show, and I remember there were games when I was actually started getting into like the Premier League properly, like where you could see like it was like he was like the end of the Arsenal invincible era, you know. Obviously like maybe 2 years after, but it was that end of that era. But he was still showing himself, you know, especially games in those heated games against Chelsea. I remember those games against Chelsea when Mourinho was coming up with Chelsea. I mean, you could see like, wow, this player over here was not to be messed around with, and also again a great leader. You know, I mean, you can like I can't even speak like more about Patrick Vieira because you see the compilations, you see the rivalry that he had with Roy Keane. If my 4-3-2-1 weren't the players, then he would have been higher, you know. And also the technical ability that he had was fantastic. I mean, the Pogbas that come after him, the Abu Diabis, you know, even the Kobe Mainus now, like he's their dad, you know, basically, you know. So yeah, over Callum, I don't know whether you want to take it now or Legendary. No, you told us Legendary, so it's Callum. Yeah.
Just quickly with Vieira, for me, I had him as my number 4, and funny enough, he was the coaches.
Same. We'll chat to him now.
The guy came in to England from Serie A as a 19-year-old and jumped straight into the starting lineup. Obviously, Arsene Wenger, I've never signed him. I know some people always make the mistake. He was never signed by Arsene Wenger. It's just that Arsene Wenger landed and Vieira was there. Guy was dominating English football at the age of 19, dog. And not just, and they always like to box him into a number 6. Vieira was more than a 6. That guy was number 8.
Box to box.
Even if you check with players that he played with Gilberto Silva. Gilberto Silva was number 6. Vieira was number 8. He played with Emmanuel Petit. Petit was number 6. Vieira was an 8. So the guy was never a 6. It was just Premier League always like to box such players as a number 6 and being the hard man or physical. You understand? And the last kick that they had for Arsenal was when he won us the FA Cup final against United. What a wonderful way to end his career with us as well. And not to mention that the guy played a very pivotal role into Invincible season as well. So definitely Vieira. I think you're right, Saib. For me, he's the best captain we've ever had, or maybe just behind Tony Adams.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Tony Adams, yeah.
Look, I'm going to say, look, I'm going to jump. I will get to my number 5, but I'm just going to touch on Vieira now that we added. He's also my number 4, and all I just write in capital letters Invincible because, I mean, it's a feat on its own. To do that, to be the captain of a team doing that, to lift the golden trophy, although it was small, I don't understand why. It's the most craziest thing. What were they doing?
Sorry, Jen. Sorry, Callum. This golden trophy, it wasn't bigger. Like when Arsenal actually lifted it.
It was. On the day they lifted the original one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
They gave it all.
The small one.
Okay, cool.
They should have made. I think they should have made the big one a goal one. Like they should have. That would have been vibes. You know what I mean? Because Invincible, that's still crazy. Like it's guys. That's we could have a debate on the best ever teams. You know, the 99, City 100 points. You know what I mean? That we'll get there eventually.
We'll call that, bro. Like I mean, this. I think we should
that's a round table discussion.
We'll make a series of sword.
I called Vieira like the Spider-Man in a way that he had the ball, you couldn't get it off. It was almost like he had more than two limbs when he was playing football. Like the way, very similar to Yaya Toure in the way that he could ghost past players. His legs, tall, lanky guy, but the tech he had on him to keep the ball at his feet. And you know, back in the day, those late 90s, early 2000s, players were gunning, eh? They would go through, they're tackling player and ball, and he'd still break tackles. So the tech to get away from the players like Roy Keane would try and go after him all the time. Then to also have the defensive duties that he would have as an 8. Sometimes he would fall in that number 6 position just because others would bomb forward, but doesn't mean he was a 6. He was never a 6. He would come back because that's what defensive players would do, and he'd attack as well, but he would attack at a level of a number 10. So he's the definition of one of the early stages of a box-to-box midfielder who didn't just stay in one zone on the field, and just world-class at what he did, you know. Absolutely.
And funny enough, we're still trying to replace him till this day. We're still trying to find
Abu Dhabi would have been this close.
Yeah.
That guy. Injuries though. Yes.
If Vieira is the granddad, the grandfather of these type of players, Diaby is definitely the father.
Yeah.
But
it would have been class.
Injuries ruined it, but yeah.
Can I chat about my number 5 now? Because I know that's my number 4. So number 5. I don't know if we're just going to enjoy this one. Best redhead in the Premier League. You know, Ed Sheeran settings, hits trees, enjoys his daughter on the sidelines. I don't know what's going on there. But I said, from number 5 to number 1, you could interchange them anyway, I think. Whatever tickles your fancy at the end of the day. But I would say the best midfielder in creating tempo in a winning team. Someone like him makes the team good. I've got my grievances with him. I can say, whatever, but you can't say this and that about the play. He also made that United team good. Like, they were a great team, and he's a part of that cog in that machine that they had. And this is Paul Scholes. And there's no difference between 5 to number 1, guys, but this was my Paul Scholes. Obviously, I had Vieira just above him. Obviously, if I had to go for the longevity of their careers, Paul Scholes, I would say, was the better player, longevity-wise. But I would say, just matching person to person, if I had to pick a team, I'm picking Vieira in my team because I think that he could also do similar roles to Paul Scholes and a bit more, and be a bit of a leader as well. Paul Scholes quite quiet on the field, but he did the talking with his feet, especially that right foot of his. Crossfield passes, pinging left, right. Goal against Barcelona. I think was that goalie against Villa as well, off the post. Like, very technical player. And people forget that when he started off, he was almost a number 10, basically a secondary striker. Scored lots of goals. His goal-to-game ratio and assist-to-game ratio in the beginning of his career was similar to Lampard and Gerrard's. Gerrard as well came back towards the end of his career. And then obviously he tailored off and became more of a passing midfielder. I'm not going to say he was a 6 in a way, that a defensive 6, but he wasn't a 6 because he would actually be between the centre-backs and allow the full-backs to move up. So that's my number 5. Brilliant player, can't fault him. That's Paul Scholes. Just did what he had to do, and he's that good for it. But I just don't think, in terms of moments, he's not a moments player. He's a seasonal player. He's there consistently for the season, and that's why you win leagues. So there's that as well.
Moments. Okay, now I'll speak on him. You said he's not a moments player, but I remember the guy came back with a crappy ass old ass boot, scored a header against Man City. Remember that game, when he retired, and Fergie called him up and said,
he came back.
I need you. Come back, bro. And he picked up the boot there, but
like 40.
But
and it's funny, Paul Scholes actually cracked the 100 goals, the 100 Premier League goals list. There's like 107 Premier League goals. And for Paul Scholes, no one would think that he would have so many goals as a sentiment player and for the position that he played as well. Yeah. He actually won 11 titles for United. That's mad. That's mad.
Sorry, just to touch on Scholes just before we carry on. Is that, like what Callum said, like players like Scholes and also Ryan Giggs, these guys played in like 3 different eras technically, right?
Yeah.
Like as a teenagers, like Paul Scholes, and early, like when he became a man, like 23, like till that age, he was like a 10 basically, right? And then obviously he evolves now into a deeper lying, or like Callum said, like he wasn't a number 6, so we say he's number 8, but deep lying, And then you see him in that era of the 90s, 2000s, playing that role, and then obviously then he comes back because now he's got the legs are not there, but the brain, and the passing ability is still there. Comes back and becomes more deeper, So people forget that about him, And then they're like, he didn't score the goals and whatever. But even with Paul Scholes, I liken him to the Spanish players, bro. Like he doesn't need those goals, bro. He doesn't need the assist because he's a tempo setter, like Callum said over here. But like, yeah, I'll just leave it there. I'll just leave it there. So we're
Do you
going
guys,
to
do you
number.
guys wait before? Do you guys believe all those quotes the players have said about him? The Xavi
Of
quotes and the
course,
Dan quotes that he's the
definitely,
greatest of
bro.
all time. I don't believe that.
I haven't seen them say it with their mouths. That's my thing.
Of
And
Exactly.
course.
Pep, I've seen Pep say the same thing about Gerrard. But when City's playing United and they ask him, you're almost luring into that question. You're luring him to answer a certain way. Because I've seen these guys chat other
But you,
things about players
but
coming.
but you have
Exactly.
you have heard Pep say, nah, post goals he was great.
I've
The
heard
post
Pep
goals
say
he was
it.
great. But okay, let's
I've
go to
heard it,
number.
yeah.
Let's go to number. You said your number 4 is Vieira, right, Callum?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Oh
and
yeah.
then legendary. Your number 4 is
My
Vieira
my
as
fourth
well.
Vieira as well.
Okay, yeah. What Callum said was very interesting because like the from like 5 to 1 is like it can interchange, bro. And I'm also gonna change it right now, and I'm gonna put Lampard as my number 4. He was number 3, but then I changed it. I was like, nah. I have to change it now while hearing the gents speak here. Lampard, 3-time champion, a player of the season in 04-05. He's made the team of the season 3 times. He had like a great season when he scored 22 goals. He's got 177 goals and 102 assists if my writing is correct here. Lampard, man, like if it's not for the players who are higher than him, then he would be higher. But like Lampard at Chelsea, his legacy is there. Obviously, he scored a lot of penalty goals as well. Might I add? Scored, scored a damn lot of penalty goals. But like I have him as my number 4 because I don't. Technical ability, he had technical ability, but the players who are higher than him had like better technical ability. So I'm just gonna leave it with there because then you're gonna hear my 3, 4, my 3, 2, and 1. Who's your? Oh, yeah, that's my number 4. So your number 4 is Callum Vieira, right?
Ours was both Vieira.
Yeah,
I think
okay,
this
both
is
Vieira.
perfect for my number 3, bro, because Lampard's my number 3. And
Yeah.
again, I also said he's the only midfielder in the Prem era to score over 200 goals. That's in all comps, right? He scored over 200 for Chelsea in all competitions, but 177 in the Prem and 102 assists. Obviously, we will get to the other stats later. He did play like over 700 games, so that was also a big thing. So, but still, to do that amount, and people forget, yes, he was the secondary striker behind Drogba for many of those years, or behind the front man. And he didn't always have. There was games where you would have to have more defensive duties where you wouldn't score, and they would have other 10s like Joe Cole would do more of the 10 work and things like that. But there was at times when he basically played number 10 because they had 2 basically brick houses behind him.
Yeah.
Always had 2 behind him doing hard
And you
work.
know, sorry, bro. Like with the thing with Lampard, like he was so blessed with like he played with like the 2 behind him like twice because he had like Balak,
Yeah.
then he had Essien, then he had Claude Makalele, and I just forget the other name as well who was there. So like he was a
They had
10.
quite a few.
Yeah, but then obviously then as time goes, then he also like opposed goals, he evolves and drops deeper. But that so that's your number 3, right? Lesnier, who's your number
That's my
3?
number 3.
My 3 is goals, dog. Both goals. For me, the when he returned back to United after his retirement, it reminds me of when Jordan decided to go play baseball. The guy came back. He repeated. He won the NBA championship. Post goals was so bored watching Southwood City play before they put in with him. Came back, dusted off his boots, and just came back and dominated again, dog. Like that says it all about post goals. He's another player who I think can play for any Spanish teams throughout the years. But I've made him play for post goals, and it's the range of passes that we could have. We put up for me, him and Beckham in those teams. It was too much unfair, dog. Too unfair.
Yeah. Okay, so you said your number 3 is Callum said is Lampard. You said it's Scholes.
Yeah.
Hey, gents, and I'm still changing now. Okay, I think maybe at the end I'll change it again. But right now, let me change it right now. Actually, my number 3, my number. Okay,
Stand on business, dog.
Nah. My number one was goals, but then like I have to be, and that's just my heart speaking. That was just my heart speaking. But I
Yeah.
think let me just like be an analyst of sort right now and actually like just think with my mind, and a mind of a heart, and say my number three is Paul Scholes. I'll give it to Paul Scholes. It's no shame being number three in a top 10 list. It's no shame at all. And I feel like Paul Scholes, in terms of like tempo setter in the Premier League, leave Rodri, leave David Silva, the players, Xabi Alonso, players like Luka Modric, for example, who had a stint in the Premier League. I think Paul Scholes was the best one, but I'll put him at number three. I'll put him at number three.
Can I touch on that tempo? Like, sorry, man, I know I'm just butting in here, but you'll be times where United the game would be super fast paced, and then now they're going back to back or whatever, and that's a team when a team can actually get at you when it's a bit chaotic, and all Paul Scholes would do is just a 6-yard lay off to the side, nice and slow, and it just eases everything. Or when the game is slow, and that guy would do, almost like the Thiago likes that reverse pass that he's looking one way and he just reverses it. Paul Scholes would do that, and you break the lines quite often from that sixth position, and that's the tempo I'm talking about. Or just get the ball without even looking. Just pings
without even looking.
And that just starts, and it just shifts the whole momentum of the opposition that way, and then they play, and then Beckham's putting a cross in, and all of a sudden your left back scoring a goal. You know what I mean? And the left back was right next to Scholes. So as he's pinged, that left back's gone on a run. He's going on a journey, And then Paul to David Beckham, putting a cross in, Nicky Butt's kind of scoring. This is the kind of player he was. He played chess, almost like as if he's on a ladder. You can see everything above, but he's the smallest guy on the field. It's nuts. It's crazy. Privileged to have seen him play live as well. That's at Cape Town Stadium against Ajax.
In those preseason tournaments, I forgot about that actually. I forgot. I actually met Ryan Giggs and Chris Eagle because they went to a school in Guguletu. But then the camera, we took a picture on the camera, but then like now we can't find that camera, bro. So it's like it is. And I met
that's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking.
I met David Gill there as well, bro. It's actually crazy. But it is what it is. I think Callum, bro, our number ones are the same. Just thinking about it now, I think our number ones will be the same. And our number twos are the same as well. Legendary, you're the only one that's got might have a different number two. So let's hear yours, bro.
Damn. My number 2 and 1 also interchangeable. But I'm gonna go number 2 with Mr. Liverpool himself, Stevie G. For me, the whole debate about Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, Stevie G, right on top. Right on top. There's a reason why Steven Gerrard outlasted Lampard and Scholes in the English team and became the captain of England. That guy was superb, bro. Just quickly his stats as well. 504 abs, 120 goals, 92 assists, 6-time Player of the Month award. First Player of the Year, 0809. That's his best season, by the way, 0809 season. And that season he had like 9 assists and 16 goals as well. Player of the Year. That guy was unbelievable. He came in at Liverpool as a young boy, obviously. Came in from the academy. Everton, they know him well. The guy was so clutch in Merseyside derbies. Obviously, one of my favorite derbies. The long-range goals, especially the FA Cup goals that everyone talks about against West Ham in the final.
Bro.
Stevie Gerrard! My friend will always talk about that goal till this day, dog. Steven Gerrard special.
I don't know if the commentator was the same, but like when he scored those crackers, all you hear, Gerrard! It was just crazy, bro. It was just crazy. But I'll touch on it further when we speak about him,
That's my number 2 as well. Steven Gerrard. Look, so I think we're all going to know what my number 1 is, but guys, Liverpool fans, we are good at one thing, and we are very biased towards our own team. And on this list, the only player to not win the Premier League is Steven Gerrard. But I also think the only player in this list, apart from Kante at Leicester, everyone else had solid for their duration of their careers at their clubs for 5+ years that they were at their clubs. A lot of these players, a lot of them had brilliant teams consistently. And I think Gerrard, in his 16-year career, I think there was only two teams that could have really pushed for the title. It was the 08-09 team and the 2013 team. So 2 out of 16 chances to win the Premier League, and I think both times those defences weren't good. I mean, John Flanagan, Ali Sissoko, Mignolet at the back. That's not good enough to win the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suarez is doing damage that season. You know what I'm saying? But I look at him, 16 years in the Premier League, 8 times Team of the Season, Team of the Year. You know what I mean? 3rd in Ballon d'Or. He's in the Premier League over 38 games. Gerrard can't always be that guy to win it all the time for you. But you know, if you're playing against Liverpool, even no matter who was there, Christian Paulson, Charlie Adam, those guys aren't doing damage. But if Gerrard's name's on that field, you know you can do damage. I've seen some absolute trash Liverpool teams beat brilliant teams just because of that guy. And look at that AC Milan team. Look at that Liverpool team in the 05 final. That's Gerrard, bro. Gerrard scoring that first goal, playing right back at the end. You know what I mean? It's what this guy was for me. Is almost Gerrard at that age was like a superhero. Kids spoke about him on the playground, literally. Like you want to hit the ball like Gerrard. You want to score free kicks like him. You want to hit long range. It's just there's something magical about the guy. And for me as a Liverpool fan, I love that he was loyal. But it's a part of me, I'm a bit gutted that he wasn't someone that wanted to go elsewhere. There was chance. He should have gone to Real Madrid. Should have gone to Bayern because they wanted him. Chelsea.
What about? I was going to speak about that. I was going to speak about that, and I think, for you, obviously for you guys, it's not a detriment, right? But maybe when he looks back at his career, obviously now that he's in Saudi Arabia and managing there, and he just looks at like I could have made a move to Chelsea. I think the second season of Mourinho where he could have moved over. Even SuperSport were advertising, will he move, will he not move, right? And then obviously, as the captain of the club, he decided, now I'm going to stay. And obviously that was, I feel like, okay, obviously then you had Rafa Benitez when he was challenging United for the Premier League title, but then it went to dust, like Liverpool, it's like, slowly after that, like everything was just terrible at Liverpool, you know? So, Roy Hodgson, the second coming of Kenny Dalglish. Yeah, you know.
Rodgers,
but like, had he moved to another league, had he moved to Chelsea, he could have got maybe 2 Premier League titles and stuff like that. But like he chose to stay. So I feel like that's even bigger. I know we speak about trophies a lot in football, but like staying at your club, you're winning a Champions League, you're winning the FA Cup, you're winning
The biggest thing is like Lampard's got 4 or 5 prems, I think. 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 prems. Literally, Scholes has got 11. And yet Gerrard's still in the conversation with these guys, and there's players. You know, Lampard said out of his mouth there, this is on Copper 90, he said the hardest players played against in the Premier League is Steven Gerrard. And Chelsea and Liverpool always playing each other. Ryan Giggs said between Lampard and Gerrard's my favourite player. He's the better player. Rooney said at England, who was the better player? And he said Steven Gerrard. Who was the best player he's played with? Steven Gerrard. That was Wayne Rooney. These guys, you could say like a manager from afar said, I like Scholes or whatever. But these are players that played against him week in, week out for 16 years. And they are saying he's the best player in the league that they played against. This is Lampard. Lampard's like, top tier. Won things. Played against the best United team, best Arsenal team. And he said the best player played against Steven Gerrard. That's crazy. Yeah.
Sorry, Callum. Just on this debate, around Gerrard, Scholes, and Lampard, I leave Scholes alone. I feel like Scholes is more like an OG, compared to like them two, because they played earlier than them,
But older, yeah.
But like when I compare Lampard and Gerrard, I would say it's Gerrard because obviously I had him high here, but also the technical ability that Steven Gerrard had as well, and also like tempo setting is for me like on the eye, I'm very big on that, like he had that, and I don't feel like Lampard had it as much as him, but I'll just leave it there, Legendary, have you got any thoughts? Or Callum, back to you?
Oh, sorry, yeah. No, it's my last point. Like, obviously, I've dived into the stats. I don't want to always go into stats and stuff. I do like a stat every now and then. But I've compared a lot of midfielders in the past on the Premier League website. You look at the stats. But in terms of his defensive abilities, more headers won, more blocks in the box, more crosses, more wins in midfield, more tackles in midfield won, and tackle percentage as well. So it actually shows that Gerrard was, in this whole list, he was the complete and is the most complete midfielder to have graced the Premier League. And that is just my personal opinion. But I'm just looking at what he did. And I think in any of these brilliant teams, Gerrard would have been able to walk into those teams and made those teams better. I don't think he would have reduced the team. And again, there was an interview we did last year with a certain Patrice Evra, never got released. No one knows about it, but we had a Patrice Evra interview, and then on that same day, news broke about Patrice Evra and whatever. You guys know the vibes. And I asked him that 0809 United team, is there one player that could have added to that team? Because that team, Champions League, Premier League double. It's like there's only one player in the league, and it was Steven Gerrard that could walk into that team. That's what he said with his own mouth. So he's that guy. He's always going to be that guy. I'm just gutted he never won a Prem, so it is what it is. But world class, love that guy to bits.
For me, I think Callum just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to mention something about his defensive abilities. I think that's the one thing that Gerrard has over Lampard, that if you needed Gerrard on a away day, maybe let's say to United, and you just need to work for that 1-0 win, where you have a 1-0 lead, and you just need to defend the last, maybe let's say 20 minutes, where United are just bombing on the right-hand side and left-hand side, putting crosses in. Gerrard was always there, defending from his box, and funny enough, he would win the ball from his own box, play diagonal over to the right-hand side, and who would he have finishing the goal? Steven Gerrard himself, with the late runs into the box. So for me, I think Gerrard was Mr. Clutch. Liverpool is losing, he would always be there, step up with 2 long-range goals, or in a penalty just to keep the hat-trick off as well. But I have a question, James. Why do you think Gerrard, Lampard, and Scholes in the same team never worked for England? Or more specifically, Lampard and Gerrard?
I honestly don't know the answer, bro. Like, I honestly don't know the answer. I just feel like it just...
I think it's formation.
Yeah, also, who was the holding midfielder? Did they have like a... Hargreaves was never really there,
And
I can't remember. Like guys like that as well. They had a great defense as well, great attack, but like they need like the perfect combination, bro. I feel like I didn't have the perfect combination,
Or do you think it was the era where it was just 4-4-2 back in the days, and you just needed one defensive mode and one box to box?
I think it was formation-wise, man. Like, you see, Lampard played with 2 holdings behind him, and then he could do what he needed to do. I think in that system they needed to play a 3, and that 3 could have even... England never played possession football. England's always been a team that doesn't, against bigger teams, the better teams, they never have possession. They always get out-possessed in that way. I don't know if that's a word. 60 to 40, 55 to 45. They never kept possession. I think the best way to work that, because they're still stuck with a 4 at that time, and they were playing Scholes out left. I think Scholes should have been sitting a bit in that 6 role. Gerrard on the right hand side and Lampard on the left hand side. That's how they should have worked it, and had 3 in front of them. But then again, they still played a 4-4-2 many of the times.
Sorry, Jim. Also, I feel like sorry, Jim. I also feel like in that golden generation, Sven, Goran Eriksson overcomplicated things. If players, 100%. if you okay, you're playing for your country, right? Even for us it's Bafana, right? Like, okay, you just take the bullet, but if you have to say, coach, this is not working, you're on the bench, then say so. I think they won't say egos were there, but you can't put a Scholes and a Lampard and Gerrard in the same team. That doesn't work, And I just feel like they overcomplicated things by trying to put them all together, bro. Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
Number 1, who's your number 1, Leslie? Because you had KDB at number 7, bro. So I'm trying to find out who's your number 1, bro.
My number 1 is the best Spanish player in the Premier League ever seen. Cesc Fabregas. That's my number 1. I might seem that I'm a bit biased on that one, but for me it's just unbelievable what he has done for us. Just watching him play as a youngster in the Arsenal team, the things he did on the pitch, the best game that I've seen him play, or one of the best games I've seen him play, was the game against Blackburn, where we won, I think 6-2 something. The guy had 1 goal and 4 assists in 1 game. And also there was another game at home to Aston Villa where we were losing 1-0, and top 4 was in jeopardy. Cesc Fabregas came back from an injury. He was started off the bench, came on, scored 2 goals, got injured again, and stepped off again, and we won the game 2-1 through Cesc Fabregas' 2 goals. So for me, the guy, he also won Young Player of the Year in the 07-08 season, Team of the Year twice, and his best season at 15 goals and 15 assists in 27 games. He also has, I think he's second only to Ryan Giggs in terms of assists with 111. Ryan Giggs obviously is on top. The guy was also made captain at the age of 22. For me, Cesc Fabregas is... Yeah. I haven't seen any other Spanish player play better than him. All midfielders play
David
better than him.
Silva, David
Premier League.
Silva.
Dog,
This
he
guy
was,
said it.
Fabregas was starting for Spain when Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets were starting, and
Okay,
Fabregas
now,
was starting in that team. What the number 10 jersey? What do you mean?
we're speaking of Premier League here. We're not speaking about the World Cup or whatever. We're speaking
No.
of Premier League.
The thing is, you talk
But,
about
but
David Silva, and I'm showing you what went on during those days.
okay,
He also left
Callum,
England, came back, made Chelsea win 2 titles, one under Mourinho and one
how do
under
you feel about, okay, let me ask you, how did you feel about that
That's
when you went to
crazy.
Chelsea? How did you feel like when just the feeling? Because I remember Schools was making fun, like we made a whole picture of Fabregas as his avatar and profile picture. But how did you feel that obviously you guys you could have moved back home to Arsenal, but Wenger said nah because we had like I think Ozil and Nasri. I don't know the players, but in that position you were stacked, right? But how did you feel when you went to Chelsea?
Firstly, like the way he left Arsenal, like that was a sucker blow. I won't lie. For me, that I was really sad after he went to Barca. Even though I knew it was going
It's
to happen
coming.
someday,
Yeah.
but just the fact that the way he left, we were supposed to. I think it was pre-season. The guy was out watching F1 races. I was like, what are you doing, dog? Like, are you trying? We know we have Barca DNA, and that pissed me off. That whole Barca DNA thing pissed me off so much. So when he came back, obviously we had an option to buy him from Barca with first refusal or something like that. But then we already had Ozil and Cazorla, and then I wanted him to come, but at the same time I was like, nah, man, we don't really need him. But to see him go to Chelsea, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And obviously, he also said that he will never play for Mourinho. I remember him and James Lampard, they were beefing. The guy said he'll never play for Mourinho. What does he do? He goes and joins Chelsea. I'm like, what?
Wins the league.
And then he wins the league. I'm like, what?
Nah,
Like,
guys,
That's football.
that Diego Costa, Hazard, and then Cesc Fabregas and Andre Schürrle doing work on the right hand side. That's a team and a half as well. Like proper.
And to be fair to Fabregas, when he came in as a 16-year-old and I think 18, that's when we started to phase out was Patrick Vieira. And the guy was running games at 18 years old, running North London derbies. North London derby, know all about him, dog. Like, the guy was unbelievable. You could see a pause.
Class.
The whole scanning thing, I think he does it perfect for me. Like, the whole scanning where he just looks and it's a way of the space around him. And then you go against AC Milan to win against AC Milan, where Gattuso, Pirlo, Kaká, Pato, to go to AC Milan at San Siro Stadium and go put up such a performance and a goal. Now, for me, basically the best I've ever seen.
It's funny though that Callum doesn't have Fabregas on his list.
I don't have him on but I don't like even Silva. Like Silva's a 10, but Silva's like a 6 and an 8. And I don't know. I have no 10s on my list. If you think about it, like I don't rate them like that. I say that I classify them as an attacking player more so than a midfielder.
Sorry, Callum. What number was Silva on your list? I had Silva at number
6.
8. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 8.
Only because of the way he molded his career after being that number 10. He also changed up quite a bit.
Nah, easy. So my number one, actually, my number 1, number 2, and number 3 could have been. It's just changed, but like when you speak about the GOAT now, I guess they must have the trophies and the achievements as well. So this guy Kevin De Bruyne, and he's still playing right now. I mean, look, Kevin De Bruyne is a 2-time player of the year, guys. 2-time player of the year. He's made. Let me just check this. He's made the team of the season. 5 times? Yeah, 5 times. And I didn't write the stats because I mean, like, obviously those are still growing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also, like, just last season as well. I'll just speak about last season, and obviously, like, that'll take you back to the season before that, and also just now coming back from injury. Like, he's just come back and he's doing what he's been doing for the past 4 seasons, and I feel like. Yeah, Erling Haaland has scored the goals, right? Erling Haaland has scored the goals and stuff like that, but like without Kevin De Bruyne service, I guess, or if I could put it that way, he wouldn't be scoring that many goals. Or like, okay, he would be a machine still, but like, he wouldn't be those astronomical numbers. So I feel like Haaland must count his blessings, bro, like for Kevin De Bruyne, you know? Obviously, other players do chip in here and there, but like Kevin De Bruyne is his main source of goals, you know? Even he gets frustrated because like they don't find the way that he does. There's spoken about like there's a pass that Kevin De Bruyne plays to Haaland, like Steven Gerrard played to Torres. So like it's like with like Kevin De Bruyne, like you don't even have to speak about the number. Like, I was speaking about what he's. I think he's got how many titles now? Like 4 or 5 Premier titles as well. So like, my number one was Steven Gerrard, but then I just spoke about his intangibles now, like what he's won. I mean, you can't ignore the two player of the season. So I'll just leave it there. Callum, I think your number one's the same as mine, yeah.
Yeah, so De Bruyne is my number one as well, and I think just watching him, what he's done now come back, and I've obviously having had quite a few big battles with City in the last few years, I'd watch a lot of City games, and when Kevin De Bruyne is injured for a few months, City are not the same team. They can still win lots of games, 100%, but in the bigger games, it's easier to get at them. He's just that much of a threat. Left foot guys, this guy's scoring left foot crackers, then he's scoring right foot crackers, then he's putting in balls onto a platter for players in the 94th minute. Like, in what he does. And then also, I watched him the other day. Who was it? He was up against a midfielder, running 50-50 for ball, bodies the guy off the ball, wins the ball back, crossfield pass. He's also not afraid to get stuck in as well. Like, he's people think when he started off at Chelsea, that's why Mourinho didn't like him, wasn't working off the ball, easy to get off the ball as well, didn't have a low centre of gravity, hardly any core strength, just a small lad, not really small, but like almost like a malnourished lad from the German league. Just technical, whatever. Now his guys put on muscle. He's quick. He gets around the park. He can do more than one job. Yes, obviously he's an assist machine. He scores goals. He's just in what City has done in those seasons. And there's been times in those seasons where he had big games out. But when he came back in those seasons, City just went on runs, 10, 12, 15 game wins, and looking at 100 points, looking at 98 points, and you're looking at 95 points. These 3 seasons that he's played, and he's been pivotal to those games. And I do think we will obviously have this chat one day eventually, that this era of City right now under Pep is probably the most dominant, probably the best I've seen of a Premier League team in my lifetime. And I've obviously witnessed United do crazy things. So Alex Ferguson's could have won 7 out of 9 titles, but by 2 points they didn't get 7 out of 9 titles, something silly like that. They won 7 out of 9 or something, but there was a couple of gaps in between Chelsea and Arsenal. But De Bruyne, like, guys, we never thought a treble would be possible again in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And look what they're going to do, man. Like,
well,
it's upsetting in a way, man, because they're that good, and I'm up against these guys. I should be sitting here more enjoying my life, 3 premises with Jurgen Klopp or whatever. This guy.
Now I agree. I agree with you, Callum, when you say that, like, especially because I'm a United fan, and I haven't. Okay, maybe before in the Premier League era, we haven't really we've obviously did the three-peat, but we didn't do a quadruple. We didn't dominate the league. Like, we dominated the league, but it wasn't like this, bro. You know, where obviously we've had our battles with Wenger, and Wenger won also as to stop us, and Mourinho stopped us as well. We went through droughts as well to win the league. But this City team hasn't gone through a drought, bro, under Pep. You know, that's just the first season that he came in, we finished 4th. But after that, it's been go time. It's just been go time. You know, maybe lose a league to Liverpool and Leicester, but and in those seasons, Kevin De Bruyne has been there. You know, okay, obviously he didn't start as the most pivotal player because David Silva was there, but now, I mean, he's the one. Right. You know, he's the one.
But then, don't you think KDB is a number 10 as well? Is he number 10? Because
he started off
just going based off what Callum said, and said David Silva was way below, right? Because I don't know, he was number 10 or something like that. Or you tried your best not to include number 10s. But then doesn't KDB also fall under that category as well?
I do think. I think he's more. If you watch his game, he's not just sitting behind Haaland. He's actually sometimes between centre backs. He's actually coming back to fetch the ball quite a few times. And then you see him on the right hand side. He's actually looking for the ball in space, and he's got a role bigger than a number 10. 10s often get the ball from the line. They call them the tram lines, basically from fullbacks and wingers. They get the ball into play, and then they're often looking to reverse pass quite a few times or clip balls over the top. He does those things perfectly. He was a number 10 in Germany. Was a number 10 when he came. But he's actually got a free rein in that team. He picks the ball up everywhere. He picks the ball up. He goes to the centre backs. Rodri's scoring goals in the box because Kevin De Bruyne is in his position, doing the polar role.
I think the best. Sorry, Cal, I think in the City team when he was like a bit younger, he was playing further forward under Pellegrini, you know. But now he's more deeper. I'll say deeper lying, you know, for a better word. He's deeper lying now. Can occupy the free role because even Foden now is playing more high up than him. But also, I just wanted to mention, I think the only 10 now, the top tier ones. I know this season has been trash, but like the top tier one is Bruno Fernandes, because even Odegaard plays the role that Kevin De Bruyne kind of plays, where it's like the tempo setting, free role as well. He can go high up, he can stay at the bottom. So to say Kevin De Bruyne, okay, obviously, he was there higher up, but like he's more of an 8, and I think the only one now is Bruno, really, and you can see Bruno's deficiencies now. Basically, they're showing clearly. So I can't call Kevin even for Belgium. I can't call him a number 10, bro. I just can't. I'll be doing him a disservice, basically.
We see him crossing the ball from the right back position, like where Beckham and Trent often
Paul Scholes did, bro.
You see De Bruyne putting in that ball, and it's going to be on a plate, and the weighting of the pass is going to be right there. Look, if you're just going to go with like midfielders and not attacking midfielders, and maybe you can have an attacking midfielder segment, and then you're going to have your Cesks, you're going to have all these lads, going, and there's a lot in the Premier League. But I think that sole 10 role is a dying breed. I think the last proper 10 we had in the league that just did that 10 role, I'm not going to say the last, but I think Phil Coutinho was very much a 10. You know what I mean? Yeah. In that just behind the strike. Ozil as well. There we go, Ozil as well. Phil Coutinho, Ozil, who else? Santi Cazorla could do the Bernardo Silva, could do the David Silva. He would come back a bit.
Honestly, James, I think Bruno, at the top, Premier League level, he's the last one.
He gets stuck in though, but I like Bruno because he gets stuck in off the ball though. So he's always working. That guy works, man. People often get at him and he's losing the ball and stuff, but he's meant to do all that stuff. He's in a team that's underperforming. Yeah. Put Bruno in that City team, and I think that guy, you'd see a different player, man. Honestly, man, just let the guy cook. But there's deficiencies around the whole club, and everyone goes at him because he's the club captain and he's a tryhard. Okay, James. Let's leave the conversations there. So let's run back our number one. My Callum, myself, number one was Kevin De Bruyne. Yours basically was Cesc Fabregas, right? I think Twitter's going to happy for that one already. I can already see it. Number two was Gerrard. I think Callum was Gerrard as well. Your number two was Gerrard too, right, Legendary?
Yeah.
My number three was Scholes. Callum number three was? Lampard. Your number three, Legendary was?
Scholes,
yeah. My number four was Lampard. That's my number four.
Two Vieira.
Okay, two Vieiras. And then 5 for me was Vieira.
Keane.
Scholes.
Okay, Scholes. Okay, now, gents, I think we'll wrap it up there. We obviously spoke in depth about the GOAT, Kevin De Bruyne, the GOAT for Legendary, Cesc Fabregas. You gave us your chat there, I don't know whether we heard you or not, but we'll leave it there. Callum, bro, would like to say, Ngozi, thank you a lot, bro. We really appreciate it. I think we'll want to make a series like this because I think myself and Legendary really enjoyed this chat, a lot.
Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good. It's also wanted you back in the YouTube space, bro, because I used to watch your videos a lot, bro, and you speak about the XGs and the stats here and the Liverpool game on a Monday and stuff like that.
I'm growing up, bro. I'm becoming a football man. No more XG chat, bro. Just watch the game for the vibes.
So thank you a lot for tapping in with us, bro. The back three really appreciates it. And guys, we should have told you to start subscribe. So we can tell you now to please subscribe, and it's a great episode. We'll leave it there. Peace.
Sorry, Callum.
Yeah.